every day.
Today we have a treat for you. We have none other than comedian, actor, Shawty Shawty. He in the house. We'll be right back.
Every day a woman reigns. It's time to live your dreams. Nothing's gonna stop you now. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Every day a woman reigns. Every day a woman reigns.
Welcome to Style with Trish. Today we have a treat for you. We have none other than comedian, actor. We're gonna name all the lists here in a minute, but Shawty Shawty is in the house.
Yeah, what my name is, Shawty. Hey, Trish, happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. I've studied you and read about you, and just love your entry into your craft, because it isn't just something you do. This is your life. This is a craft, and it's something that you take very seriously. Off camera earlier, you were sharing how you entered into this particular industry. Can you share it with our viewers?
Yes. All right. I entered at a very tender age of 18. I had to make some choices in life. I had veered down different roads, tried different things, and it wasn't working for me. I was in the streets, and at a point when I became an adult at 18, facing what I was facing, I was like, I wasn't raised like this.
Yeah.
Let me get myself together, because this is not the foundation that I had been put in me. And so I know I ain't want to be in prison, so I started trying to explore what I was gonna do.
Right.
And one night I was watching Def Comedy Jam, and bam, I saw the stand-up, and only other stand-up I was ever used to was Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious, which I watched faithfully at home. And I don't even know if my parents knew I was watching their tapes. But I knew all the Eddie Murphy, Foo Foo, the Boo Boo Couch. I knew all of this as a kid, and that was the only stand-up. And I saw Def Comedy Jam, and I said, that's what I be doing under the car porch with my friends.
Yeah.
These are the stories that I'm telling out on the streets. And so I started lying, telling people I was a comedian.
You say you started lying.
I used to be a liar sometimes. Telling people I was a comedian, running around, and people were like, do an act. And so one time, right when I was like 17, and some guys came to lay our driveway. And I say, I'm trying to press my mom like, y'all hiring? And they like, yeah. So he said, we'll get here at 6 o'clock in the morning to get you. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, I got a job, mama, you know. And I had signed up to be a laborer for brick masons.
Wow.
And they were building foundations to homes. So they done cut all the trees out. And I'm under a block of sun out there, and I'm the one to get the mud, the cement, and the wheelbarrow, and the bricks, and the those big cement bricks which you put up under your bed, you know, to make the bed frame. And so I didn't last. I fell out the second day. First day I was extremely tired. It was crazy. Every time they say, they holler, more mud, more bricks. And I'm, yeah, mud, bricks, and there's more mud, more bricks. Then it started getting heavy, and I tilt the wheelbarrow over. And I knew right then that I was not set out for hard labor.
Yeah, that's some serious labor though.
Yes, yes. But the check was good. The check was like $300 for a day and a half. But I couldn't make it. But I used that story, and I would tell people that story then. And I was 5 years old. My mama told me, she said, everybody got talent. She said, it's up to you to pull it out.
That's right.
She said, God gave everybody a talent. It's up to you to pull it out. So since I was 5 years old, I was Michael Jackson glove, red jacket, skateboard, Tony Hawk. I was whatever I had to be to pull that talent out. Dancing, I danced all the way up through my teenage years. And
how do you feel about that? Because my mother was kind of like the same. She really put it in us to like really tap into different and expose us to different things that we can kind of tap into to pull out the creativity. That was a huge impact, I'm sure, in you in your journey in comedy or in acting as well.
Yes, and I always emulated Michael Jackson, and by my dad being from Gary.
You're from Indiana?
I'm from here.
Oh, okay.
But my dad, he's from Gary, Indiana, right?
Hoosier. I'm fellow Hoosier.
So they know Michael Jackson, them people.
Right.
and so I'm in elementary school, and I don't know if my dad know this, but so one of Michael Jackson's cousins came to live with us. Yes, came to Georgia and lived with us. I was in the first grade. I'll never forget it. Had all these pictures of him and Michael Jackson.
Wow.
The whole Jackson 5. Had all of these pictures of them and Michael Jackson. I took them pictures to school. Now I'm Michael Jackson cousin. Who out Michael Jackson cousin in the first grade? Yes, I was. Yes.
And so that's what sparked your love for Mike.
Man, for entertainment, period.
Yeah.
I had the glove. I don't even know if it was silver.
Yeah.
I had a little red jacket. We had
It didn't even matter.
And we went to Chicago, and we went to Chinatown. I remember part of the summer before I started school. I got this red jacket. I got that red jacket in Indiana. You ain't finna tell me I ain't Michael Jackson.
That is hilarious. So you said that you started at 18, but you didn't really have the toughness that some may have entering into the comedy industry. Or did you?
I had a pressure because, first of all, I was a recovering hoodlum.
Right.
And I didn't have nothing. I didn't have anything to lose. And I was way outgoing. I knew the whole city, and I didn't care. I was kind of known as outgoing, dancing, just whatever, you know. And so it wasn't out of the norm for them probably to see me step up on the stage trying to open mic. Now, what happened, I had to pick my crowd. So I remember when I first began, when I was lying, telling everybody I'm a comedian. And then me and my friend, we was riding down the street, and I hear a commercial come on. Are you funny? Meet us at Uptown Comedy Corner for the Zimmer's Light Comedy Competition. I'm 18 years old. I'm like, I'm going.
Right.
He like, boy, Shawty, you better not go in there. Them folks gonna throw some apples at you. I said, listen, man, I'm going on that stage. So I got his brother's paper driver's license. And I presented myself. So I went up as Marvin Smith my first time. Ryan Cameron was hosting. This was 1994.
Okay.
And he introduced me. This was right when Left Eye and Lorena Bobbitt and all of them was in the news. And I had just
oh, you had material.
I had just come out a toxic relationship. My first girlfriend cheated on me. And I was not, I was slick off a little bit. I was hurt. I didn't want to be in them streets.
Right.
And so I mixed all that up and went on stage, and they didn't boo me.
Right.
But they got mighty quiet. And then, so I didn't get booed. And so we left. I didn't get laughed at. I didn't get laughs either. But I didn't get booed. I think I scared them.
Yeah.
I think I scared them. I think I was came to College Park for them. I think I scared them. But kept moving. One day we was getting a car wash about 3 months later, and I asked these ladies, I said, where y'all going tonight? It's like, we're going over there. I was on Campbellton Road. They pointed at Harlem Nights. They're like, we're going over there. They be having comedy night with Bruce. Bruce was one of the people I had saw on Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, yeah.
That night, him, Arturo Shelton. I'm like, what? And so I told my best friend, I said, boy, we're going again. I said, they tried to boo me. And this before people was making it rain. And I had a couple, I was comfortable a little bit. I got a whole bunch of ones. I had like 3,000 ones. I had bank rolls, 1,500 in my pocket. And I said, these folks boo me, I'm gonna throw the money at them. Sure did. I said, I'm gonna throw the money at them. And when I got up there, when I got in there, everybody I went to school with, everybody from the hood, everybody from all around town was the audience. It was the cool kids night.
Right.
And I got up there doing my 1-2, talking about my ex and talking about Lorena Bobbitt, and I used to do like this Barney character because I used to beatbox when breakdancing was out. So I used to scratch like my voice kind of messed up, but I was killing it. And I had like the Barney rap I had been practicing because I had been telling people around town for like 6 months that I was a comedian. So I was practicing a little routine, more mud.
Right.
But I didn't even get to the mud one on that one because they like that hood stuff, and that was right up my alley.
Right.
You know?
Hold that thought. I didn't want to break you right there, but we're gonna come take a really quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have more with comedian Shawty Shawty. He in the house.
Hey.
Welcome to Trish's Treasures. This is where I share some of my favorite beloved products that I use on myself with you. Today I have the beloved Blessed Journal. What I decided for 2023 is that I was going to organize my life, not just my personal life, Style with Trish life, and work life, and be more productive and be more organized in 2023. So while I was searching for journals, I found this particular journal on Facebook. And I did my research and I found it to be probably the best in the market. Again, it's Blessed Journal. It comes with the affirmations. So if you need an encouraging word each morning, there's affirmations that are on here on the front and the back. Very encouraging. It also comes with an ink pen. I purchased this ink holder because I wanted to keep it with my journal on Amazon. And it also comes with stickers that you can use on your calendar for inspiration. It tells you to love yourself. It's just really, really an inspiring journal. It also has words in scripture for you to read if that's something that you want to keep up with. As you see, I have tabs in here for notes and things that I need to remember. But this is just a perfect gift or personal item for you to be able to stay on task and to reach those goals. As we always say here on Style with Trish, we want to be able to always pursue our dreams. And this is a tool that will help you on the path to pursuing your dreams. The beloved Blessed Journal. It is an absolute Trish treasure.
Have you ever thought about having your own talk show? Well, you don't have to question yourself any further. From concept to completion, Mark Squared Studios can easily take you through a traditional 3-step process for any video production. Whether it's a small business commercial, talk show, cooking show, or even a web miniseries. Contact us today and we'll help you unbox your creativity.
Every day a woman ran.
Welcome back to Style with Trish. We're continuing our conversation with Shawty Shawty. Now, where we left off is your first experience with Bruce. So,
Yes. Performing it, I went to the comedy night. Bruce was the host. I never had to throw the ones.
You didn't?
No, I ain't had to, no, they loved me. It was everybody like Jamal Crazy. That's my real name, like Jamal Crazy, you know what I'm saying? And so that's when I met Bruce, who is a great friend, mentor, and they gave me talks.
So what was the difference between the first time? Was it you think it was your first time on stage in that particular time? Do you think it was the support you had, or do you think it was your confident or comfort level?
It definitely was a setting.
Oh, it was a setting.
It definitely was a setting. I was in a Buckhead crowd, uppity people. The second crowd was on Camerton Road in front of the car wash on a comedy night in a nightclub as opposed to a comedy club. And so the atmosphere is totally different. And that's when I met Bruce and started my legendary beginning of my career at the 559, the roughest comedy room in the world. Everybody would get booed, but I would go up every Tuesday and rock the house. And that's how I became a strong comedian under Bruce. I started winning contests and Bruce got me on TV. 5 years later, he took me on tour for 3 years. And then I got on Comic View and he got me on comic view, and I had my own legs, and he let me get out there.
So he kind of like mentored you and kind of led
Yes.
you. That's awesome.
Yes.
You also had an extent on Wild 'N Out. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so after I got on TV, and Nick Cannon, shout out to Nick, Nick the man. Let me tell you something, you know, Nick the man. Nick goes and find the hottest
Yeah.
who's in that field, and he go and get them. And so, by me being from Atlanta, and I got on Comic View, I'm like, they used to have 4 comedians. Now I get on Comic View, they putting on 24 comedians a show. This is crazy. There's no way for me to blow up doing this. So I had what my name is, Shawty. So that was branding before I even knew what branding was. Thank you, Jesus. And then, after that, I said I gotta stand out.
Yeah.
So I went and got in all the videos of all the rappers from Atlanta that I knew. Lil Jon.
Oh, that's smart.
We used to ride skateboards together. Brian Barber, one of the producers. I started showing up to video sets at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, y'all don't need no comedian. I can make gold teeth. Anything to get in the videos. And I got in the videos, and I was on 5 or 6 videos on 106 in Park at a time during a certain period. And all the rappers from Atlanta was blowing up. That's how I become the king of crunk comedy.
Yes.
I pioneered crunk comedy because I got on all them crunk videos, Bone Crusher, Never Scared, Never Ever, Nelly Tip Drill, the greatest video ever made. And I just got in these, and I just, once I got into the video flow, it started propelling me, and that's how Nick called me.
Okay.
I wake up.
You was working.
I was working. I was working myself because I came off the streets and I ain't want to sell nothing illegal. So my mentality is I make myself the product.
Right.
And I sell
Smart.
myself.
That's right.
So that's my motto is I make myself the dope. And that's why I wake up to distribute myself and my talent every day. And that's the same motto. They say, Shawty, how you last so long? How you keep transcending and going with time? You've been rolling. Because I made myself the dope.
Yeah. And you even went as far as to acting. So now you're into acting. And then now I hear you have a project solely on your own. But before that, you done work with BET. Can you expound on that?
Well, Nick Cannon got me. Nick Cannon came and got me. Boom. Wild 'N Out. Big stage. Still on there. And that just made me worldwide. Added to the videos. And now, to this day, right now, I'm an actor. I did my movie Clean Up Men, played on BT Forever When I Was No Doubt. Do you know where we're going with this? I ain't raised a whole generation. And all of my movies equate to now, ladies, I've been working me, Young Jock, and Shanika, which we have a syndicated morning show called Young Jock and the Streets Wanna Take Over. We #1 in over 5 markets, and we have over 19 markets that we talk to every morning. We just premiered on a movie called Under His Influence on BET, and it's bad.
What's it about?
It's about this girl, and she goes and she's a social influencer, and she wants to fight for this guy who's in jail, who has been wronged, and say he murdered his girlfriend, and so he's protesting his innocence from behind bars. And she wake up one morning and say, I want to help him. I want to be productive, and I want to help him fight and get him out, get his condition overturned. And when she comes in to us, me, Young Jock, and Shanika, we're interviewing them, and we're getting in-depth interview about where they're going, where their life has been, because when they get out, they explode, and they turn, and so I can't tell y'all the end of the movie.
No, don't tell us the end.
But that's real big, and it's all over BET now, on BET Plus.
Okay, we're gonna take a really quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about your project.
Okay,
I really want to high dive in that.
Hey.
Guys, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about what Shawty Shawty is up to right now. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Cassandra Evans, affectionately known as Dr. San, and this is your segment of Let's Learn Love. Hi guys, it's Dr. San from Let's Learn Love, and I'm here to give you your segment for today. And we are talking about how to resolve conflict. Now, you know, one of the things that I absolutely hate is fighting, but sometimes conflict is necessary in order to get points out. But there's a way that we need to do it, and we need to do it effectively. So with that, one thing I will say how to resolve conflict is to write down everything that you want to say. And I mean the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the pros and cons, so to say. One reason why we do this is because it allows us to gather our thoughts. Because sometimes when we think about something, it can be really little, and when we realize that and we actually write it down, we dismiss it. But if it is something that is really bothering you and you want to avoid the conflict, write it down. And when we write this down, we also want to write down ways that we can resolve the conflict. It can be something as little as, well, you don't wash the dishes. Well, if we're not washing dishes, how many times do you want me to wash the dishes? What do you want me to do to wash the dishes? Those are the kind of things that we need to ask ourselves in order to get the problem solved. Something else that I would say when it comes to conflict is maybe take a moment to cool down. Sometimes we get really, really irate, really, really fast, and we just throw things out of our mouth. But that's not really what we want to do. So when you feel like that, you may want to take a moment. I say about 5 minutes because we really don't want it to go on longer than that. But take 5 minutes, gather yourself, go back, write down what you want the conflict to say and how you want it resolved, and then go back and speak to that person. The final thing that I would say when it comes to making sure that we want to squash down conflict a little bit is put yourself in the other person's shoes. And sometimes we don't do that enough. Maybe that person is going through a hard time right now, and maybe they're not clearly thinking. And you have to have a little bit of mercy and grace on them because they have a lot going on in their life. But not only that, you have to be able to see things from a different point of view sometimes, because your point of view sometimes is not always the right point of view, despite you being upset. So with these 3 little things, hopefully that will bring down some of the conflict that you may have in a situation. And if you need more tips, feel free to contact me. Or if you know of another way that you handle conflict, let me know. I would like to see what you say about it. Well, until next time, this is Dr. San, and this has been Let's Learn Love.
We are back here on Style with Trish. Shawty Shawty is our guest, and I want you to share with us the project, your own personal project, because I think that's very special.
Yes, man. And so all actors want to be the lead role. Mm-hmm. And so I have I shared lead, and I've had a real strong supporting character, but I just completed, and we have released my movie, Can't Get Right. Mm. Can't Get Right is a guy who can't get right. You know, you got that cuz he always messing up, and you come multi-millionaire, and I'm not finna give you no $1 million because you're not gonna take that and make your life right. You're gonna go mess it up.
Right.
And so that's what Can't Get Right is about. Mm-hmm. I just can't get right. I keep on getting fired from every job. Mm-hmm. I got this weed smoking grandmama. My mama's never mentioned in the movie. And so, you know, it's just, and my cousin, it's beautiful because my first cousin, who's also a comedian, Squirt.
Oh, okay.
He played opposite of me.
Okay.
And you know, when you first started doing Storm, and then one of the family members started, you like, but you know, he held his own. Mm-hmm. He held his own all through the years, and he has a very funny show. Mm-hmm. And he lost his wife right after the movie. Mm. And so I was going over there picking him up, or they'd come over to the house while we was filming the movie, and you know, and then he lost her right Christmas morning. And so it just gave the movie a whole nother inspiration. Yeah. And then he just was going through it on Facebook. And so, you know, he's sharing his life all over Facebook. I wake up every morning to these posts. So God say, call your cousin. Tell him you're going to make him your opening act and take him on the road with you. And y'all do the Can't Get Right comedy tour. And so I did. I called him on Sunday morning. I said, man, God told me to take you on the road, man, to be my opening act. He like, cuz, I've been waiting you to say that 20 years. I could see the smile on his face. When we go, we did numerous comedy clubs. Last we was in Memphis, working all week. He go out there and represent Standing Ovation. His name's Squirt, so it's a Squirt and Shawty. And it's just great to be able to manifest that, you know, when I do get a lead role. My first cousin play opposite of me, keeping it in the family, you know. And then to be able to take him on the road in his time of need and be that for him. It just
support.
That feel great.
Yeah, I bet. And now the movie it's available now, right?
Yes, it's on Tubi.
Okay.
Please go to Tubi. It's free. There's no reason nobody listening. All these cameras. No reason nobody under the sound of our voice can't go see it because it's free. It's on Tubi. Can't Get Right.
We're going to check it out.
Yes.
We're going to check it out. We have a few minutes left, and I really, really want to talk about some of the social issues that are going around or that are happening right now. But also one specific thing about comedians. It just seems, you know, with the Will Smith situation, and people are so sensitive now when it comes to comedy. Has that affected you? And just give your spiel and your feel on that.
Yes. It has, but people know Shawty skate the line. They know that I'm going to say crazy, something crazy. I'm known as a crazy comedian, so I can get away with a lot of stuff, but like Dave Chappelle, he's fighting this, taking on this burden for us comedians to be able to have free speech.
Yeah.
You know, he go out there and say the craziest things, let the media attack him, he fire back, but you know, they're not able to counsel him because he already counseled himself when they tried to come at him with the narrative. Praise God. It's just like our parents telling us everybody got a gift.
Right.
You know, they're not teaching us to be entrepreneurs.
Right.
They're not teaching us to build your brand around yourself and you be your own boss. They're teaching us be an accountant, be a doctor, go clock in. That them Democrats. Yeah. Who your folk? I'm independent Christian. But I'm serious, they're not teaching this in schools, you know. But as a comedian, yes, I'm on the radio every morning. I don't know what to say. He, they, we, them, her. You know, I had a guy, I had a transgender come into the studio, and they informed us that they wanted to be addressed as her.
Okay.
And I ain't had no way to know. I walk into the conference room, I walk up on some broad shoulders and a blue jean jacket. I don't know what's in front of that. And I tell them, how you doing, sir?
Right.
So it gotta be some type of boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want my
grace. It should be some level of grace.
Yeah, grace.
Yes.
And understanding.
Right.
Understand, because everybody gotta be understanding in this
world.
You got a Fred Sanford, you can't even say it. And I'm not, believe me, I am not in no type of way.
Yeah.
You know, but I just think that some things should be done at home. And then it heavily influenced people like Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. When your home is so much of an influence on society, I think that some issues should be dealt with in the home and not in the media, because that will sway our kids. And I think that everybody deserves the right to choose at a legal age. And as far as censorship, if they continue to make everything so politically incorrect, that it's going to lead to they're going to take our rights. They're going to take our freedoms.
Yeah, more and more. Yeah.
If you're saying you can't do this, okay, we can't do this. I'm not a proponent of abortion. I'm not going to say I'm not a proponent of abortion, but I cannot sit here and say that it is fair for them to eliminate that process when it has become a part of our everyday life. Because it's taking our rights. Whether I believe this woman supposed to do this or not. You take that right, this thing you know, no guns.
Take this other right, yeah.
Now you ain't got that right. This thing they say no cheese. And tell you where you're right. And then we sitting right here, you know.
And it has to be outside of your own personal belief, because everybody believes differently.
Yes.
And so we can't be selfish and it be all one frame of mind. So I totally get it. I see exactly what you're saying. We only have a few seconds left. Can you share with us, because you have your podcast that you do?
Yes.
Please reiterate your movie on Tubi and where we can follow you and support you.
Yes. Trish, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Yes. And if you would like to see more of Shawty Shawty, you can reach me on Instagram at Shawty the Comedian, and I share some of my life every single day. You can hear me each morning on Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover. We go to about 17 cities, different markets. Really hilarious. We have news, funny, all the gossip you want to hear from 6 to 10. If you want to find us on there and you're not in the area, you can reach us on the Streets app. I have a plethora of movies. The movie I'm starring in, Me, which I get residual income from checks. It's free for you on Tubi. Can't get right. Go to BET Plus and you can check out different movies that we are doing within the series of Under His Influence on BET Plus. YouTube is crazy, so join me on my YouTube at Official Shawty Shawty. And coming July 5th, when I get back from my wedding on June 24th, I will start the Laugh Now Cry Later podcast starring Shawty Shawty as the host.
Awesome.
Yes, so I will be sitting in your seat doing one-on-one interviews, hitting all the issues in a 360, everything. I'm talking about everything.
Yeah. It sounds like it's fun. You're a lot of fun, but you're also very serious, and I love the combination. I love that combination.
Yes, yes.
But thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I don't know about you. I learned a lot today with Shawty Shawty. Much congratulations on the
wedding,
nuptials.
Upcoming wedding, hey!
As well as your new podcast is coming out. Guys,
Yes.
we will be right back.
Have you ever thought about having your own talk show? Well, you don't have to question yourself any further. From concept to completion, Mark Squared Studios can easily take you through a traditional 3-step process for any video production. Whether it's a small business commercial, talk show, cooking show, or even a web miniseries. Contact us today and we'll help you unbox your creativity.
I'm often asked the question, why the title Style with Trish? And to answer that question is very simple. For me, style isn't just what's on the outer appearance of a woman. It is what is on the inside, which is actually more important. And so what we want to do and how we want to incorporate that into our show is that we excitedly bring on guests who feed into the building of self-esteem, as far as mental health and improving yourself, self-help. We bring guests on and experts on to actually help us build those areas, increase those areas to make us a better us on the inside. Once we're built healthily on the inside, then we can start rocking out the outer look. Outer look is the easiest part to redo, to fix. The inner is what's the most difficult. So style isn't just what's on the outside. It actually starts with what you possess on the inside. Hey guys, this is Trish Standley. Catch up on season 1 of Style with Trish by going to trishstanley.com. If you are not able to catch the show on YouTube, make sure you go to my website, trishstanley.com, and check out our podcast.